anybody hear me? Let me watch on stream as well. So today, well, hold on. Just want to make sure everything is fine. Am I live? Hold on. I can't tell, so I need to refresh everything, right? Mic test, mic test. Okay, yeah, seems like everything's okay. So today I will be going over Dante, which is the latest Iron Saga Ian mecha. Is in my opinion probably one of the most worthy mecha for in recent days. So again, if you're watching this in the future, everything I talked about will be timestamped in the comments and in the description. And again, for those who's watching, please tell me if the audio is all fine and stuff. And yeah, and I'll also be answering any Q&A, so feel free to ask me any questions. If you're watching this later, you can always ask me questions down in the comments, or you can ask me questions what's it called in our Discord, which link is in the description. So hello, welcome. Oh my god, okay. Thank you. 喵喵抱抱抱抱，谢谢你过来，谢谢抱抱。Okay, let me adjust something real quick. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming. Welcome. A long time no see, actually. We haven't seen. At least I haven't seen a lot of you guys for a while. So hello, welcome. So yeah, how many viewers are there? Two. It's just showing 2 people up there. Anyway, yeah, welcome Ziggy, welcome. I'll just wait for some people to. I'll just wait for people to join first. Before I start doing it. And yeah. So let's start with some news first. So in the almost 2 weeks that we haven't been streaming, a lot has happened. Sort of. Well, not that much, but well, actually, I'll get into it a little bit. So anyway, so news. Of course, we got the new pilot in Iron Saga. Ian, and of course we got the new skin for Iron Saga Ian, which I really like. And also we have Odin, which is again one of the biggest meta-defining things in recent years. Because if you couldn't kill it in 25 seconds, it will regenerate back to full health. And of course we got a new mecha game that is called Mecha Break that I will be making content about very soon. I will have some video ready for this game soon in about. Yeah, on the reset. Yeah, actually, yeah, in about I don't know how much hours. Like, in about 16 hours, I will have video on on these game soon. So stay tuned on that, and definitely please help me share this game's or share my video about that game as well. So and what else? I think that's about it for the news. Oh yeah, right. And hold on. And of course, Iron Saga Ian, we got Lilith that is coming to Iron Saga Ian soon. And also one thing I do want to say about that is that in Ian, the mecha that makes how do you say that? The mecha that makes Lilith strong is not in Ian yet. So how strong Lilith will be might really depend on if Ian can find like a good pilot for Lilith. So let me answer the question. Dante isn't the first to be created through Route of Forge. Actually, lore wise is an ancient technique. Long as oh, I see. I don't know anything about the lores on them, but I heard the lore are pretty good. Yeah, I heard the lores are pretty good. So, alright. So, oh right. Oh, you're responding to Wolf. Yeah, Wolf using. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I don't know anything about the lore, but I heard the lore is pretty good. So, yeah. Alright. So, how many people are here now? 7 people. You know what? We might as well just get started with Dante. I don't want to keep you guys waiting for too long. I don't want the stream to be too long. So. Dante. This third part, it's basic info. Well, actually, hold on. This third part is design. Well, I never played DMC, but I can tell there is some heavy inspiration, I like you say, from Dante, I guess. So as far as I know, at least. Of course, I don't know. But yeah. Welcome, yeah, welcome, Armin, welcome. So let's start from its basic stats. Now, its basic stats, HP, it's 7777, not too bad. What's important about it is its weight. Its weight is actually 274, which is pretty good. Again, anything that usually in this game, the heavier the better, because your weight actually scales with some skills damage. And the weight also can make you more not prone to CC effects, because you're heavier, is less likely for you to be knocked down or knocked up, I should say. Yeah. But that's just just being heavy is good. Yeah, being heavy is good in this game. Velocity 127 is not. It's actually faster than, or it's actually surprisingly fast compared to some other units. So, but yeah, well, let's get into this important part. So starting from the chassis. Also, again, tell me if the music is too loud. If the music is too loud, definitely tell me so I can change it before anything happens. Actually, let me just make sure the music is not too loud. You know what? The music seems to be fine. Okay. Alright. Well, so first chassis, final damage received minus 30%. Straight up a very, very strong a very strong chassis, because final damage received minus calculates after firm seal, so you will just take 30% less damage, which is insane. Anything to do with final damage in reduction in PvP is very, very strong. And then we have, it's okay, I think, yeah. And then this effect will be double, so minus 60% final damage if you're in G mode or Godin mode, as I say. So again, you literally take 60% less damage, because again, final damage received calculates after firm seal, and upon performing mecha actions with more than 5 seconds, Dante will stay in G mode for the same duration, which is, again, G mode. How to say? Yeah, I probably should start saying by saying how strong G mode is. G mode can make you immune to pretty much most CC's effects, so that means Dante doesn't need any anti-CCs. Make you immune to most CC effects, including force grabs for some reason. Yeah, force grab, which is the primary way units can be damaged now. Golden mode can make you immune to it. Well, now Dante's G mode is a little bit wacky, because its G mode is kind of a bit. It's not the traditional you stay in G mode the whole time. It's more like it will stay in G mode, it will get out of G mode for a second, and it'll go back in again. So it's not like real staying in G mode. However, it is still continuously G moding, which is again very, very, very strong. It pretty much negates the need of Dante needing to, build anything to reduce CC effects, aside from knockdown, I guess. Yeah. And yeah, that's just again staying in G mode, immune to status effect, and just look at how much action Dante has. It will just be in G mode pretty much almost all the times. And of course, during all those times, your damage will be, severely reduced. So, especially in PvP. And now, on to its second chassis. Dante acquires 1 layers of distinct. For each damage dealt in Golden mode. For each layer, final damage received dealt plus 18 plus 0.8% up to 70 layers. At the end of the Golden mode, consume 15 layers of the same per second to extend duration of G mode. Now, another thing. Alright, see, now, first it got its defensive ability out of the way. It just takes 60% less damage most of the time. And now it got basically the damage part out of the way, because final damage value calculates after firm seal as well. So up to 70 layers, I think that adds up to like 56% more damage of final damage value, which means you will literally do, or given if you have the max layer, which usually you will, because Dante just have so much actions, so you can be doing so much damage during the G mode. So usually you will be doing 56% more damage after firm seal. Overall, just in PvP, and because it's adds in percentages, this means it is also good in PvE as well, because again, the reason why final damage value back then are not better than final damage overall is because final damage really doesn't come in large quantities until recently. There's more final damage value percentage buff, but back then it's usually just a flat number, which is not really that useful in not that useful in PvE. But now, because it goes up to 56% final damage value, it is extremely powerful in PvE, which to a point where it is basically just plus final damage 56%. So that. And of course, it will also consume the layers for you to stay in G mode, which usually you will only consume about 30, if you're not lucky, 45, because just look at how many actions Dante has. That is over 5 seconds. It will just be cycling through these actions over and over and over, and Dante will just stay in G mode pretty much the whole time. So it's just, how do you say, it's skill complement with everything it does. Yeah. So you can expect Dante to be immune to CC most of the time, and to be tanking a lot of damage most of the time, and also dealing massive damage most of the time. So as long as you build it right though, as long. So this chassis alone already make Dante pretty viable in both PvP and PvE. Now let's look at its weaponry. Now its weaponry is quite intimidating. Just look at how many weapons it has. Of course, first two weapons being Fist, which is really strong because having Fist meaning you can use Claw in PvP, and you can also use Super Raw Fist in PvP. Or you can use the Claw in PvP, and you can use the Super Raw Fist in PvE because it is a level 5 Fist. And yeah, and the rest aside from it's yeah, it got the usual random weapon from. It's not really random, but you got a usual some range weapon for most mecha, so so you need to upgrade them, or for the start upgrades, and of course you got the repetitive sword melees. But again, listing them all out is good because by listing all out, this means when you're using it with Majin Core, you can actually increase a lot of damage from Majin Core because Majin Core does scale with how much weapon that are listed. So, but yeah, really good that it has so much weapons. And its special main armament. Now this one is pretty interesting. It's a very strong skill. This is the skill that comes with your upgrade after 5-star. Is a very strong weapon, but it's not necessary at all because you're not really losing out anything on not having it. It's just a kind of a flashy thing to have, I guess. It will not really make a difference in in the grand scheme of things. And I guess yeah, this is something skippable, making Dante pretty much usable at 7-star by having the chassis and by having the abilities. So yeah, so that should be it about the weapons. Very good with what it has, and listing everything it has out really makes it much better in PvE because it will just gain that little 5 or 10% more final damage increase. So. Now on its unique abilities are also as intimidating as its weapons because first of all, its basic combo is not. I think its basic combo is about 2 seconds, which is not that great because usually you don't want the combo to be strong, especially when this combo is not that it wouldn't trigger its chassis because its chassis does need your weapon to be at does need you to use a weapon that has more than 5 seconds of CPs. Yes, yeah, Dante is enough as 7-star because it just doesn't need its weapon. So yeah. So it is a strong basic combo. However, this is not a move that Dante want to be using. However, now let's get into its counter. Now its counter is 6 seconds. That means it can be triggered by its chassis, which is good. However, its counter, as far as I know, isn't a force grab. So you wouldn't expect this counter to do much damage. It would just kind of be like a Juma extender, and also just be like a you know, I guess iframe move. So, but it is a very fast counter, so it can potentially come in handy in in PvP. So, hello Naki, hello, welcome. So, okay, so that is about counter, and then you got a usual defense move and evasive actions. Nothing too special about that. None of them will trigger chassis, obviously. Now let's start into its ult and X ult. Just by looking at this thing, this guy Dante has more X ult and ult than majority of the Retrophids, if not Retrophid 2s, just the amount of X ult and ult that he has, which again very, very strong. Because the thing about this is, as I talk about before, the best PvE bullet that comes with Dante to using Dante is the Super Raw Fist. Now, Super Raw Fist, when they are using ult and X ult, it will increase its damage and will double the damage when using X ult. Now, it's just because all of them will do massive damage. It will also get the huge buff from its chassis, and it will also combine that with Super Raw Fist as well as Marching Core. It will just do massive damage to the buff. What's it called? And it just has so many of them that you can expect it to not stop moving, or it will just be constantly dealing massive damage to the enemies. You don't need to worry about a ton. Like, I don't think you even need. I mean, it's still better to have hydraulics or have the what's it called, the purple joint in PvP and in PvP, just so you can chain even more of the strong reactions. But you can expect it to just be using all these XO most of the time to do massive damage in both PvP and PvE. And yeah, speaking, I guess something to note is that 2 of his X ult, so it's prayer of the so the prayer one and the crime one, both of them does over 20,000 damage. Not including or I guess might be including the chassis buff. So that means you can expect it to do almost up to like 30,000 damage onto the boss with the chassis. That's without any parts too, which is again very strong. And then its other X ult, they will do good amount of damage. Sometimes I think it's about almost 10k for all of them. And of course they will also and Toda has Force Grab, which guarantee you to do some more damage in PvP as well. And of course, it's that little shadow flashing is also is a Force Grab, which is very strong. And one thing about its X ult, its last X ult, the shadow one, is that compared to compared to most units that have all melee attacks, this skill is actually not afraid of is actually not afraid of Fork, which is again pretty strong, because most other melee units are scared of iframes or are scared of what's called tuning forks. So yeah, and this skill alone probably does over 30,000 damage, including the buff, and you can definitely count on it will get up to the 70 layer just based on based on how much multi hits they are. Just look at how much multi hits they are. You can bet on it doing it getting the 470 layer buff, if not after a little while. So that should be it about the unit abilities, and it having all these abilities also makes it get even more final damage increase for the Marching Core. So yeah, so I think that's the overview. I think that's an overview about Dante. I might have missed something, but if I do miss something, I will be commenting down on the comments below. So yeah, so again, overview, just its ability and its chassis just complement with each other. Dante is really a mecha that have no weaknesses, because you are not gonna be afraid of most CCs with all the Gmod sustain and with all the Gmod just all the Gmod buffs. And of course, Dante can tank a lot of damage just because it can just flat final damage reduction, and it also do a lot of damage just because of damage the final damage value dealt increases. So very very powerful. And of course, it's so much actions, making sure the chassis will just activate most of the time. So, however, I do have to say, as strong as Dante is, it is not BS. Yeah, as strong as Dante, as strong as I make Dante out to be, it is not a BS unit. Compared to what is to come, such as Lilith, such as Messiah, and such as like Wusheng even. Dante is just like a solid mecha that is just not afraid of anything while doing massive damage. It is probably BS to some people, but trust me, what might be coming, Dante is really not the worst. But even then, Dante is still probably the most worthy mecha to get out of everything or out of like the next 5 mecha that they'll come out at least, because Dante is just so good at both PvP and PvE that you don't really like the mecha that's coming out. Although they have really strong gimmicks, they are really not. They're really hyper focused on PvP. So, if you're not into PvP or if you're a new player, it's not really that worth it to get Lilith or some other future mecha. You might as well get Dante, so you can Dante can pretty much carry you through the entire game, and if you have Linda Awaken, it can pretty much carry you through most PvE content, even high level ones like well, not high level ones, but like at least you can finish all posters just by using Linda Awaken and Dante, and of course clear most of the stories and the stage challenges or the Awaken challenges. So, in the PvP, it will just be a solid mecha as I talked about before. It does get outclassed, by Dante, by Virgil, which is basically like an overtuned version of Dante that is specialized for PvP. But this happens to any mecha in Iron Saga, so for PvP. So yeah. So that should be it about Dante. I guess let's get into his builds. And before that, let me answer some questions. So Charlotte Awaken is good. Yes, if you have Marshall, Messiah, like Chorus, if you have some of those ranged mecha, then probably. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend awakening Charlotte, because Charlotte is only good on certain ranged mecha. So depends on what mecha you have. It is a strong mecha, yes, but in order to use her at her full potential, you will want to have like this one. You want to have mecha for her, right? So I tried Snow on Dante and it was cold. Snow on Dante should probably works. Yeah, Dante isn't too picky about pilots, but there are just for Dante, the better pilot. I mean, actually, no. For Dante, that there are objectively better pilots on Dante in Ian, which I'll get into. But let's get into the PvE build first. So PvE builds. Of course, Linda Awaken, you'll want to have the best melee DPS on the best melee DPS mecha in the game. So Linda Awaken plus Dante. However, there's a silver lining to that, which I'll get into after I talk about this build. Actually, I'll just talk about it now. So if you have Rebellio, then you can probably if you have Rebellio and if you don't have Marshall, right, what you can do is you can have Rebellio on Linda and have Elaine Awaken piloting Dante, because I think it's more worth it this way, or you would do overall more damage, because again Rebellio really needs Hongwu, which Linda can provide, while Elaine couldn't, and Elaine have the skill where you'll increase final damage based on the amount of action that the mecha has, and Dante have a lot of actions, so pairing it with Elaine is also a very good choice. So you can basically use the best DPS. So basically, you're just using Linda on Rebellio to do massive damage, and Dante, I think, is stronger than Rebellio for a little bit, but it's not that much. So you can still get the benefit of Dante, but on the second best DPS pilot, which is Elaine, which works really well with Dante as well. So Yeah. So yeah, well that's a pilot out of the way. Oh, and if you're using Elaine, obviously you'll want to use Greta basically, yeah, for even more fire damage. So and for the build, this is something that will just this is something that I will go with. Obviously, Marching Core, for the extra final damage increase, and then we got the Fist for for the double damage on when using its actions, and then we have the Fist, so you can just so you can do even more damage, and of course you don't need the purple one. You can always use the green one. You can always use this one. They do the same thing basically. So just for even more damage, and then you got Firm Steel just in case, if the damage. I mean, usually wouldn't, but just in case, just in case if the boss can kill you, then you can put on Firm Steel so you don't get that in one shot, especially before Dante can get going with his combo. However, some bosses might be better if you're using things like Tuning Fork, right? Tuning Fork, if the enemy is scared of it, but usually I'll just stick with Firm Steel if you don't know what you're doing, just in case. So, and for the coding, obviously I will go with Baihu code because Linda. Actually, for both Linda and for both Elaine, you'll want to use Baihu code so you will do more damage overall and just have a better stat boost. The more you use, or the sooner that you use your active skill, and of course, some bosses will do something when you use active skill, so you probably want to not use active skill if the boss doesn't want you to activate active skills. So. And now for the pet, there's more options. Obviously, I'm using Fire Rabbits because this is the option for me to reduce even more action CD cooldowns. But if you don't have this one, doesn't matter. You can always use Benson just for more final damage. You can always use what's it called? You can always use like if you're in Unseen JP and if you have Irons, you can use Irons as well. Just PvE pets, yeah, the usual PvE pets. If you don't have anything but you have Scorpion, maybe you can probably put on Scorpion if you don't have a ranged mecha like this guy. What's it called? Dream Guardian. So, but overall, I think Flaming Rabbit is the best one for Dante, mainly because this build really doesn't have much except for Linda Awaken to reduce his action cooldowns, so maybe with Flaming Rabbits it might be better for Dante. So, and if you're using Elaine, obviously, Hongwu will be the best in PvE because it just has so much action. So you'll probably want to, because you wouldn't be caught in the time where your Dante is not going to use an action, so you might as well use Hongwu so you can do more of them faster and just do more damage overall. So that's why I will use Hongwu. There's no other pilots that you want. Like, if the pilot that you're using on Dante have tech, then you'll want to use Hongwu. You just do a lot more damage that way. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, and if you're using things like Elaine, right? So let's go to Elaine. Let's go to Elaine. I'm using Elaine on Bahama. But imagine this is Dante. If you're using Elaine, then just change the co-pilot skill to Greta, which is Greta's attack, because Elaine does have tech, which is a shame. So anyway, that should be how to build Dante in PvE, which I already talked about, in my guide. Let's get into PvP. And before that, let me answer the question. Sorry, Oot. For Himiko 7-star, what should I upgrade? Chassis and action. Yeah, same thing. Chassis and action. Chassis and action usually are the best one. So, gonna guess Sparta on lore-wise. What is Sparta? Yeah, sorry, I don't know much about the lore-wise. So, definitely go into the lore chat of the game and ask there, because I know the story for Dante is very good, and yeah, for Dante Adventure is very good, but I don't know anything about lore, so yeah, I'm not the guy to ask about lore, so yeah. But join the official Discord, and you can ask in lore channel, or just ask staff, and it should be good, yeah. How to farm gold faster, Bunny-san? So, what's it called? The best, okay, so now I don't know the optimal way to farm gold. However, my suggestion is that make sure to do everything every day, because there will be to a point. I mean, you always need gold most of the time. Um, as long you're doing things every day, right? Let's say, yeah, as long you're doing things like, yeah, so you go to event, right? You go to event, and you do the daily guessing arena. You do your brawl. You do all of your arena challenges, and you use all your stamina. Eventually, you will just have so many gold. And I guess another way is that, or I guess using all your stamina also ties into, because after you beat the game, right? After you finish all that there is to it, the only thing you will be spending stamina on are probably the events. And during the events, especially collabs, you can farm them, and then what you can do is you can sell the extra parts that you can have for massive amount of money, like you can see here. So in my opinion, this is the best way to farm, because you're just doing your everyday task, but you're getting a massive amount of gold for it. So yeah, just just make sure to do everything daily. Eventually you will have a tons of gold. And when collab come, use your daily stamina on them all the time, so you can get extra parts for you to sell for massive amount of money. So, and of course, and let's say there's no events, you can all use your stamina in expeditions. Yeah, you can use stamina in expeditions. What's it called? Yeah, use stamina on expeditions. So what you can do is sell things. I mean, you will need rubies more now, but you will just get more gold overall, right? From doing expedition. There are probably better ways to farm gold. Like if you really need gold now, there's probably a way to farm gold, like the best way, but I don't think that's viable per se. Like you probably need to work really hard or put in a lot of resources on that, or to spend a lot of time on that. But yeah, the best way is just play regularly, reminder to do everything, and you should be good. Can you show Messiah build? Yes, after I talk about Dante's PvP build. So now, let's get into Dante's PvP builds. So Dante's PvP builds will go something like this. Not sure about this one though. Hold on. Let me take this off, and let me put on fish. There you go. So Dante PvP build will probably be something like this. The pilot will either be Matilda or Vesper. Nothing else, or not nothing else, but more like there's no better pairing for that. Matilda is a pilot that you should be able to get rather probably not easily, but if you're a vet, you probably have Matilda, right? And it is not that hard of a pilot to come by, I should say. You can get it in Heartbox, you can get it in Cafe and stuff like that. So I think the pilots shouldn't be a problem. But overall, Dante is not that picky of a pilot. However, it's just Matilda and Vesper Awaken. Them two are the best, definitively, for Dante or Virgil. So mainly because Matilda have Matilda have skills that synergize with Dante very well, because Matilda heals during Gmo from an active skill. It will also just gain good buff from its from going to the G mode. So Matilda and Vesper as well just works really well with Dante and Virgil. And in my opinion, Vesper are better than Matilda on Dante, which I'll get into. Which even though Vesper is better, I'm showing Matilda because in my opinion, Vesper is only good on Dante and Virgil, and not much else. So that's the reason why I think people should think twice before investing in Vesper Awaken. That's why I'm showing Matilda, because Matilda works in anything, right? Matilda. So, alright, so let's get into this build. So first, let's start from its parts. Of course, I'll use this purple joint just so, because this joint pretty much replaced this will pretty much replace hydraulics in PvP, just so just because you will do more damage overall in PvP, and it pretty much reduce the same amount of almost the same amount of actual cooldown. So also didn't put on music because we're talking about PvP now. So and now let's get into his bullets. Now his bullets is definitely the absorption claw, because if you have the claw, like if the enemy has the fist, you usually claw are the better way for sustain. So yeah, just claw. But if you don't have claws, obviously you can go back to absorption shell. So to get the sustainabilities. Now Dante, you got a sustainability aspect covered. And then now on this actually, so for PvP, just claw and absorb shell. And if you're free to play, you can use the free to play absorb shell for now, which is where is it? Which is here, this one. Alright, now let's get into its support. Now support is obviously the only two choice. Chest stabilizers or emergency detach. Usually I would just go with chest stabilizer because I'll control it, yeah. Or actually, yeah, I'll go with chest stabilizer mainly because you don't really want your co-pilot skill to be anything else, I feel. Or you probably want to save your co-pilot skill on something else better, probably, because Dante really won't take that much damage to a point, or it's not supposed to take that much damage to a point where it will trigger emergency detach. So you might as well just make it. You might as well just have chest stabilizer, so you can not get knocked down and do more damage overall, right? Because I don't know if Jimo can prevent you from being knocked down. As far as I know, it probably doesn't. And even if it does prevent it, you can still not be knocked down during the off time, right? So yeah, I will always have chest stabilizer on, and only if you have a pilot or a skill or pet that won't make you knock down, then you will use chest stabilizers, or then you will use emergency detach. So, and now for its armor, you can obviously go with. I mean, honestly, the only choice is just firm steel, and if the pilots already have firm steel, or if you have firm steel somewhere else, you can just go with tuning fork. Nothing much different from that. Honestly, Dante is pretty easy to build. Now that I thought about it. And for the coating, I'm actually using liquid armor, because liquid armor can effectively make you not die at the beginning. Which, again, before Dante can get going, right? Dante would need to start using his action first, and you don't want Dante to die, before it can get going, before it can start changing G mode. So you probably want to have, or so for me at least, I will use liquid armor. So just to get Dante, just to make Dante safer before it can get into the groups. However, Dante, if you're not really if you can already make Dante, not die at the beginning, or something like that, or if you just want Dante to be even stronger at late game, you can obviously go for chest stabilizer, just so you get more defensive abilities, which is really good. And now for the pets. I will go with Pisces, because Pisces is just such a good PvP pilot, or PvP pet overall. Because yeah, how do you say? Although Dante reduced a lot of damage, it's still better to not take damage at all, right? So Pisces will just, it's good and it's the best. Yeah, it's probably one of the best PvP pet out there. Obviously, you'll want to put it on Dante. Best, the best PvP pet obviously will be the best for PvP on Dante, right? So yeah, but if you don't have Pisces, you can obviously go for something like Mantis. You can go with something even. If you have an extra, well, usually you'll want to have Scorpion on range unit, but if you want to, you can even put you can even put this on. You can even put on J29. If you put on J29, so now it's anti-knockdown. You can put on emergency detach, and let's say if you put on something like UMO1, you can replace your what's called your armor with tuning fork. So Yeah, high CC in my opinion is still the best. The best. It's kind of like the best PvP pilot. The best PvP pet obviously will be the best for PvP for Dante, and the second best will be second best. And otherwise, you can replace. You're gonna have your pet to cover something that your pilot and your part and your build that doesn't. Which in my case, it covers everything. So I'll just use high CC, so it's just even better overall. So, and for the combat skill, personally, I would use Hongwu because Dante just have so much action that I feel like I just want to use more of them and just to do more damage. So Hongwu can provide that pretty well. However, I have heard that Hongwu in 4v4 might not be as good in some cases. So definitely, test it out. If Hongwu is not working for you, if you know Hongwu is the reason why you're losing, then you can use something else, right? There's so much things to choose from. Even you can even just go with the usual love. You can just go with the usual love. Nothing will be, that will be fine basically. So that should be it about the builds for PvP. I don't want to talk about Matilda though. So the reason why the reason why Vesper are a better pilot for Matilda is because Vesper, hold on, let me see. That's because Vesper, which I think is a good way to get into Vesper Awaken as well, because the Vesper, I guess how do you say, let me get to Vesper. The Vesper, wait, why is Vesper not here? Wait, really? Okay. Hang on. Just gonna find Vesper real quick. Vesper. There you go, Vesper! So yeah, Vesper, all of her skill just works really well with Dante overall. Of course, her first skill, it will heal 5% in Jumo per second. Very strong. Very strong in with Dante, where it'll be in Jumo pretty much all the time. Infinite Embrace. This is a skill that really makes it strong on Dante and Virgil because what happened is I think you were also in Jumo during Infinite Embrace, so you wouldn't use G mode to you want to use layers to sustain the G mode because you would just be in 2 seconds of the G mode already. And during those times, Dante would likely get into another action, so you're effectively are in the infinite G mode loop, making it just very OP, right? So yeah, and this skill only skills with the attack. So like you don't need to level up this skill because you only want the G mode, you don't need the damage. So this skill is something that you can actually skip because it will provide the same effect pretty much. Just let your other things do the just let your Dante do the damage for you, right? And then killing puppet for every 700 melee damage dealt accumulated, grants a layer of killing Vesper that lasts 5 seconds for each layer's melee type final damage dealt to the enemy will increase by 4. By 4 what? 400? by 4 can be stat. Oh stat. Okay, so now wait, hold on. By 4. Really? No. It's really just by 4. I just want to make sure there's no translation issues. Oh yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Yes, final damage value. Yeah. So yeah. Very strong skill in PvP because the more damage you deal, the more like you can pretty much infinitely increase your final damage value to do massive damage in PvP because again, final damage value calculates after firm steal, doing massive damage in PvP. Within that 5 seconds, it will just every 5 seconds, the more damage you deal, you'll start be increasing to do more. You'll start doing increasingly more damage from this skill. So very powerful. I do think that 4 might be a bit too low. However, consider how many multi-hits this game has now and how easily it is to deal 70 damage. I can see this skill still being very, very strong. And this skill is definitely one you want to max, so you want to trigger as much as possible. So, and now for that skill, which is the extremely broken skill, that is, there's a 30% chance for Vesper to gain immunity to all damage for 1 second, and pass the melee damage onto every enemy within 3 units of radius upon receiving upon receiving melee attacks. So now, basically, when she get attacked by a melee attack, there's 30% chance that she'll get into a 1 second immunity. How busted it is because there's no cooldowns, right? Pretty much, if you are lucky, like with how many multi hits nowadays, it's like, let's say you're in the grab, right? The grab is about 2 seconds, right? The first hit trigger the 30-second percent, making you immune to that whole second of damage, and then right after it ends, maybe you will get 1 hit in. It does like 100 damage, and then the next hit get you into iframe again, and you pretty much just wasted the entire enemy. You pretty much just tanked the entirety of the strongest move the enemy has. So absolutely strong move into this meta due to how many multi hits there are. And of course, it will return the damage to the enemies, which is just really strong. Returning the damage, usually it will bypass the firm steal, or I guess how much damage you will take, the enemy will take that much damage. So, it's just very strong. And usually this skill will trigger when you get grabbed, that's how you did, usually in this game now, you wouldn't take damage unless you're in the grab, unless you get force grab, right? So this skill will trigger in force grab, making you as long as you're lucky enough to not take damage at all. So yeah, very, very strong. Just literally an infinite iframe machine, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, very, very strong. Vesper. As I said before, Vesper, can achieve, if you build it right, can achieve infinite G mode if you do it right. So yeah, definitely Dante, definitely Vesper on Dante. You can farm gold for purified water exchange bro from it. Oh, I see. Yeah. So I think that should be it about Vesper's Awaken as well. That talk about. And now, as strong as Vesper is a little bit not. How do you say? It's a little bit not as not that it's not great, but it's not as versatile, because it is really only good on Dante and Virgil. You can obviously use her on other mecha, right? But it wouldn't perform as, it will probably perform well, but it will probably not. It will not be the best pilot for her. So yeah, because Vesper is so good on Dante and Virgil. But maybe in future that there's some other Dante-like units that can make Vesper achieve infinite Jumo again. So I guess stay tuned on that. I guess hopefully something like that will come. So and yeah, again, a very strong working pilot. Is just that not so versatile overall. So. Alright, so that should be it about Vesper Awaken. Now I guess I go into Messiah build. Actually, before that, I will have to talk about the what's it called, yeah, for that I have to talk about the boss conquest. So now for the Dante boss conquest, right? What you want to do, you can use my team, right? You can use my team. There's actually 12,000 people that use my team now. Holy crap. So you can just use my team, but the catch is to not use active skill. Yeah, don't use active skill, because if you use active skill, doesn't matter what kind of team you have, you might get wiped, or you will not do that, or you might not do as much damage, because Dante will use his X ult if the enemy uses active skill. So again, just don't activate active skill and you're good. So yeah. And honestly, just use my team if you're struggling. You should be fine. So yeah. Yeah. Alright, so how do you build Charlotte? And can you build Messiah? Now, I'm gonna answer. Okay, I'm gonna build a Messiah build. While I explain how to build Charlotte. Now, Charlotte. How do you say? You don't really build Charlotte per se. You build it like you build Charlotte, or you build a mecha that the Charlotte is piloting on, and just put Charlotte on it, and you're good. So I guess it's not. So I guess it's not in terms of like. I'm gonna use Pythia because you don't have Pythia right now. So it's really up to the mecha that the Charlotte is piloting. But I guess there isn't much to say because Charlotte, you don't really need to have anything specifically built for Charlotte. However, unless you're talking about Charlotte's mecha pairing, which will be pretty much most ranged mecha. Recently, most ranged mecha that have main armament should be a good choice. It doesn't even have to have main armament in my opinion, but probably better to have them. So crazy how Messiah can solo. Yeah, well, that build is actually built to make Messiah shine more, so yeah, definitely take it as a grain of salt, but it is not surprising that I can do that, so yeah. Now, Messiah build, so, and for Charlotte, if you're asking about the mecha pairings then, no, welcome. Yeah, if you're asking about, co-pilots, okay. Well, 1 second, let me build to that, yeah. So, I guess I'll get into Charlotte's pilot best mecha as well, which I don't think I have done a guide on Charlotte too, so I guess I should do that as well. But hold on, let me just get Messiah build out real quick. So for armament, this is what I would go for Messiah. Something like this. Maybe Death Struggle or something. Or I guess maybe. But probably I'll probably just put in Death Struggle then. Where is it? Death Struggle. There you go. Yes, super detailed stream, all this. Thank you so much, thank you, yeah. So, armament, if you're still here, this is the build I will go with for Messiah. So yeah, very should be very how do you say, normal build for Dante, I guess, for Messiah, I guess. So now let's get into what's it called, Charlotte. Now I actually do have a Charlotte build right here. So Charlotte, as you can see, I'm using what's her name again? Vesely? Yeah, Vesely, I think. Vesely's special. Just because it's the DPS, just because it's the DPS skill. So yeah, I mean, if you don't have it, you can honestly, like, anything that increases attack. Like for example, you can use Lolo's support. You can use some other, even Spotless if you really want to. Or if you still have this guy, you can also use this guy just to increase the parts level. But usually just some offensive ones, and you should be good. Yeah. Some offensive one. If you don't have an offensive one, just something that can make it survive. I guess it should be good. But I'll just go Vesely for for PvE. This is for PvE, so for PvE. For PvP though, you just want to go with the struggle. Yeah. PvP just go with the struggle. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Yeah. there's a much there. Yeah, for PvE just DPS ones, and for PvP just Death Struggle. Thank you, Charlotte. Not looking yet. Any other recommended pilot for Elaine, yeah, Elaine Awaken. So Linda Awaken, Elaine Awaken, Slokai Awaken, and I guess Edith Awaken should be pretty good. Yeah, all of them should be not bad at all. So yeah, the only thing about the one listed is that Linda Awaken is not usable in PvP. So yeah. Alright, so that should be it about this one. I guess I'll talk about Charlotte Awaken, because I don't think I talk about it, right? So Charlotte Awaken and who else? And yeah, Charlotte Awaken and that's it, right? Or I guess just actually yeah, I think just Charlotte Awaken. So but let me go Charlotte. Hi, hello and hello, welcome. And now for Charlotte, now first weapon, basically. Oh, first weapon. Let me see if we can TLDR it. So okay, so Charlotte Awaken basically it's a very strong anti-boss move. Basically, this will be another skill that you want to activate aside from Linda's active skill for for a longer sword. Now, the main reason is because whenever usually even nowadays ranged units are relying on action to do the DPS now. So you can expect your ranged unit to be blasting the enemy with the actions. So and whenever that happens, Charlotte can reduce their defense and attacks. Defense is the most important one for your teammate and for herself to do more damage to it. And of course, it'll try to capture the boss. I know some boss probably are immune to it, but probably some boss can probably be affected by it. So it'll be also really, really good because having a good DPS environment or having a good boss CC is more important than stats nowadays. So yeah, definitely a very, very strong skill that you want to max, in my opinion. So yeah, and the second skill, increase attack, over by 2% every second upon 20 stack. Upon 20 stack, there's two upon 20 stack. Final damage dealt to enemy lower than 30 will be increased by 40%. Now this skill is a bit more situational on boss because the boss probably are not going to be under 60% of the time, but it is a very good skill to have in PvP. Again, I don't know if this is final damage or final damage value. I think it's final damage value, right? Yeah, it's final. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, it's not final. It's not final damage value. It's just final damage. Now having 40% increase on boss under 30%, that's really strong because you just do more damage overall. So yeah, especially by 40%, that's a huge amount of final damage increase. So yeah. And now let's get into ambush. Reduce chance of being targeted by the enemy, which is always good on the range unit. And once every 8 seconds, enter stealth and reloads all weapons magazine up to activation 8 times. Now this is a skill that I actually skip because it is strong because it reloads, it goes into stealth, makes it harder to detect. But the reason why I would skip it is because the only thing that I really buff for the skill is the time frames, and in traditional posters and bosses, you usually won't get over 2 seconds. So even if I don't max the skill, I can still get the full benefit from the skill. So that I don't think there's a reason to max the skill. You might as well max the first one, so it's stronger overall. So. And now for the last one, increase fight damage of projectile by 50%. Always good, make you able to hit the enemy easier. Fight damage value dealt by main armament to be receive Ace tournament. So oh no, okay, hold on, my brain's not working. The fight damage value dealt by the main armament will increase by 36%. Now this is fight damage value, that means it will calculate after firm 0, so this skill makes it really strong in PvP. in PvP, because if you get blasted, you'll just the blast would just be 66% more damage. So very strong, very strong. For the pairing, it's just any ranged mecha. You can put on Messiah even, but Messiah is better with Pythia, so you can keep Pythia alive. So I guess when like Horus come, or if you have Marshall or Trophet, or if you have, I don't know, something like Bahamut, you can probably use her on as well. So it's not too picky about the range pilot, but you probably just need to have the range pilot and the range the range mecha, and the range mecha has to be something that you can probably work with. Charlotte can probably work with as well. So yeah. Alright, so that should be it about Charlotte Awaken. Is there any more questions, guys? I think I covered about everything. Probably just gonna roll something now. As I wait for any questions that you guys might have. So I am so tired. I was not speaking clearly, I think, for the last few parts. So also hold on. I'm just logging in again because I just want to roll something real quick. So those 30 people, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Also, stay tuned for the Mecha break video in about 15 hours. Please help me share it in Iron Saga official, in other servers. That's a Mecha game that I'm really passionate about. So definitely wait for that video, and please consider sharing that video as well. So yeah. Do you have any recommendation for the pilot besides Awaken Melanu? This is the hard question because I don't. Yeah, I don't know how Ian is gonna fare without Melanu Awaken. So this is a really tough thing to answer. Yeah, but pretty tough. I want to give you guys an answer on what I will put, but there's no way to predict Ian meta. So yeah, NC was just too different at the time to know what can be used on Lilith still. So yeah. I can do a 10 roll for the stream or something. As I wait until I finish the stream. So. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? If not, I'll end the stream early. I think it's always good to end the stream a bit early, so so you can so it's easier for people to find things in it, right? Yeah, I wonder as well the pilot without memory. Yeah, hopefully Ian player can find something out. Hopefully, yeah. And of course, if you guys want a shorter guide, if you guys want a shorter guide on, on Messiah, on Dante, I have already made a video on them, so just, take a look at that, and yeah, things should be good. Things should be good. Who's better at Awaken first? Matilda. Matilda is far more versatile than Vesper. Yeah, definitely Matilda. Vesper is stronger than Messiah on Dante, but she cannot replace she cannot replace Matilda on some other things. So yeah, so definitely definitely Matilda. It's more useful that way. I haven't bought the month card. Should I buy it? Probably, yeah. Hold on. Just in case for the net, huh? Odin, definitely. Odin is quite busted. Now, Odin, if you don't kill Odin within a certain amount of time, it's gonna regenerate to full health. So, yeah. Odin. Virgil is way out of date by the time Odin came. I mean, mainly because there are Gaogai Guard that came out between it. So yeah, it's been a while. So. Dang it. Hold on. Let me do one more mission real quick so I can redeem the things. Oh, Odin's good. You wish the second letter. Yeah. Now I'm scared on what's gonna be next because it's gonna be hard to top Odin from what it has. So. I'm gonna be putting Odin on the stream, so hopefully wish me luck. Alright. Also, I'll be doing if you like my or if you enjoy me talking in a more calm way and not in guide way, like when I'm playing other games or something like that, definitely subscribe to my second channel. I'll be making I'll be making thank you, yeah, I'll be making a new type of content soon on my second channel, so stay tuned on that. Stay tuned. No Odin? How much is the give though? I'm gonna try it. Let's see if it's a scam or not. I think I need at least 3 to... Oh my god, please. Two! Actually, that kind of... Yeah. Alright. 10 roll. Just enough. 10 roll. Nope. Nothing. I'll use some gems as well. Odin's such a... Let's just say... A different Odin? I mean, not that one. Nice. Don't have no space anymore. Come on. You good. Alright, kill these guys. Alright, time to roll again. Oh, I need to open some. Wait, it's called. Yeah, because in NC is a little bit more expensive. Yeah, a bit more expensive, sadly. Not too bad though. It's not like 1,000 more, I guess, which is kind of already is. It's like 700 more. No, the drop is the same. It's 1%. Yeah, 1%. Same as Ian, 1%. Sadly, which is different though. But don't spend. Alright, guess I didn't get any today. I guess. I'll just save. I guess for now. I haven't been playing this game as much. So I don't want to spend too much money on stuff. So yeah. Alright, so guys, any more questions? If not, I would, I will call it a day. And yeah, no Odin. I mean, I bought a battle pass, so I can get Odin regardless. Battle pass, redeem one in Super Halloween Z, and yeah, so. I wonder what is the team. Why not? Huh. Means that Odin is not that useful in PvE. Cool. What the ideal shard? Probably at least 200 for each, maybe. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's not my expertise. Mainly because, let's say you have a lot of spare ones and you want to roll, right? It can be a bit easier, to like, yeah, that can be a bit easier to just roll instead of going back to, to do things. So having some extras should be fine. Parts 200, just so you're playing, Apex, you're playing and stuff like that. You want to have more parts, so yeah. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? If not, I'll call it a day. I am a bit tired. I want to stay. I was editing video the whole night, so. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Any questions? Nice to see. Lilith announce. Yeah. Lilith. Let's see how Lilith does in, in Ian. So, can't wait to see that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Alright. Oh, hold on. I just got. Do you know how to counter Himiko? Tuning fork, yeah. Have tuning fork and have whatever mech that is killing your whatever mecha that Himiko is killing you, put on fork. Himiko cannot do anything against fork, so well, probably can, but it'll struggle. So fork, tuning fork is the armor. So yeah, goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. Oh, and if you want a better answer, come to our Discord, tag me in our Discord. I can tell you how to build again.